What up, dudes? Hello, Dominators, fellow Dominators. It's me, you on Dominations, back at it again. What is up today? It's early morning. This is take two. I just finished a 14-minute video and went to watch it and get it ready to upload. There was no, the mic was unplugged by like a little bit, so it was just like stuff like that, where I'm like, can't hear anything I'm saying. So glorious, the joys of recording what you're doing. I am really a newbie at that, but we're figuring it out. In case you ever need to see what we use here on the Doom Raider channel, a PowerSoft phone manager. Let me just bring that guy up here. When you download a free trial of this, it comes up like this, where it shows the different categories right up here. Go over to Tools. If you're using an iPhone, it's iOS Recorder. I am assuming this is pretty safe to assume Android Recorder does the Androids, but that pops up a screen, and that screen looks like, well, I'm not going to mess with that right now, but then I'm also using Camtasia. It's a recording program, and it's also a full studio for editing and stuff like that. I just use a record the screen feature, and I set the size of the screen to match the size of my iOS screen over here from a PowerSoft, and the Camtasia allows me to put my webcam in the corner of the video on top of this. So Camtasia doesn't have an iOS software where you can link up to the thing. I don't think it might, but for now, this is the way I'm doing it. It's all free. It's all on trial program basis. And if you ever want to record your own, you have any questions, I worked for a major computer company in tech support for a long time. Took over 50,000 calls, and so I could probably help you if you have any trouble with that. I'm pretty good at learning new stuff as well. Like I said, with this PowerSoft's iOS recorder and Camtasia, I haven't used either one of them before I started making my videos, and you can kind of tell at the beginning I didn't have the same tools and stuff that I do now, but we're learning. It's fun. We're sitting on a pretty good stack of food. Gold is accumulating. I've been spending it on the new SAM batteries. Got 2 of them going, 4 days, 8 hours, 3 days, 3 hours. They're 5 days, 1 million gold, and 2 citizens. And you can see what my citizens are up to right now. War Academy still tacticless for another 3 days. SAM batteries on those 3 and 4 days like we just mentioned. And the storehouse, 1 day, 15 hours. If you're not sure, if you didn't know this, the storehouse can be upgraded and still be used. It's not like you can't store goods in it while you're while it's being upgraded. Sometimes it looks like I can't because I don't have very many, but truth be told, a lot of days I can only attack a few times, so I make sure I get the most out of those attacks, or at least I try to. And we can see a couple of my most recent attacks. Defenses, I've been playing around with different layouts and stuff, so they're not always the most informative, but we can see right there just on that page, that's a pretty good chunk of Doja. And 28 medals. I mean, I don't know if there's any more big loots. There's a 2. Oh, see on this is a good tip to mention. Let me go ahead and show you this replay on this bottom one here, where it's a defeat. I can't even talk sometimes. Don't pass up a base. It's a 2 medal loss max. Especially if there's 400 something thousand just sitting out there. I'll show you how I went about this one, so keep your eyes open for multiple things when you're going through. I see the 442, I see all the loot, the oil's looking pretty difficult to get to, but it's all exposed. And oops, whack the mic here. Zoom in on what I start out with: a few rifles, clear the forest troops out, and then 1 arty. Because I've got an attack army right now. I don't have a looting army, but I cannot pass up a base level 193 that's like 36 medals if you win, or 2 if you lose. I'm like, okay, what's the... I can make up those 2 medals. I don't even know. in like half an attack on somebody. So don't even worry about that kind of stuff. And okay, so if you see a 2 metal loss with all that loot sitting out on the outside, go hit it and get the money. You might even get the 50% if you really want to. I'm trying to just maximize my troops. About to get splashed. There goes that guy. And okay, then we move in over here. Drop a tank first to attract fire. At least that was the idea. And then I go a little bit more invested on this side because I want to get the storehouse and that. And I'm trying to utilize. Sorry, I froze there. Yeah, I was wanting to make sure I get it because if you don't put enough out, and by then all the other troops are caught up to you and they're taking your stuff out. So with this type of tactic, and again, I lead with the tanks when I'm going to pick off these little outside targets because the tanks get out front and attract the fire and let them get shot up. They have a lot of health. Your backfield armor here, a little bit of mixture of foot and rifleman, and then one arty to really take out that storage. And so you can see what I've taken already: 91, 412, and I know I'm not going to lose more than 2 medals because it's the max loss on it. So that's my tip on this one: is just keep an eye out for those low max loss medal bases, and they have exposed or loots that you can get to. Just hit it. 2 medals, whatever, 4 medals, even 6 medals sometimes. I don't care if it's a little bit to get a whole lot. As you saw, it made 28 medals in 3 attacks. So I could do that. I could lose 2 medals 20 times and make it up in 3 attacks. So 19. And okay, that's enough of that. We'll get off of there. You kind of get the point. The main point is to keep your eyes open for the low metal loss, high exposed loot bases, because they're out there. Those are the guys that are still chasing the medals, or maybe they're just on an upward slide in the medals because they went on a dive chasing loot or something, and they come back up. A lot of people do that. That is perfectly fine. Strategy. Okay, why is there so many chats here? I mean, what in the world? I went to bed somewhere in sound zone before kick. Sound zone. Not letting the right level players donate. Okay, if you're on a war, if you're in a war, we only want our best troops in the whole alliance. So if we only have one guy that's got global tanks, French tanks, which we have a couple, but then he's the one that's going to fill all the tanks or something. If we don't do that in ours. We usually do howitzers and British rifles in our war bases, and it seems to work well. Usually those are the ones that can mess up your day quickly if you're not prepared when you're attacking in a war base. So anyways, I attacked a base that had raiders in the those little guys chased me all over the place. Raiders on defense, I mean, I don't know if it's good strategy or not, but they were whipping me up on one of my attacks. I wished I'd had a plane to mow them over because they were just flying from troop to troop and just putting them down. So we may want to test that too some point. Okay, where are we at on this recording? I don't even know. 8-9 minutes. So we have 1 day 7 hours on the S-35. I got the 250 crowns for donating 30,000 troops, and it's not quite enough crowns to get it. You can see I need 348 crowns. So I'll wait until that gets down a little bit lower, and then I'll crown it later tonight, finish it off. As a present to myself for donating 30,000 troops to my friends, I get to finish the S-35 a day early. And then I'll start passing that thing around like a cheap hooker. And that'll do it. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you for watching. If your alliance is not aligned or making allies, then you need to change alliances. Come on down where everybody knows your name. San Fran, Tokyo. Sometimes you wanna go. SANFRANTOKYO. That'll do it for this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Hate on it. I don't care. Thanks for watching. Peace out. F2.